Back in late 2021, Retro Fighters announced their new line of wireless GameCube controllers, the BladeGC and the BattlerGC. So they are shipping these now, and they actually sent these two to me for a purpose of review. Kind of wish they would have sent me a BladeGC as well to try out, but essentially both the BladeGC and the BattlerGC are the same controller with the same compatibility, just some minor changes as far as layout goes. The BladeGC has both the analog sticks down here and then a bigger D-pad in this spot. So essentially, they're giving you a choice. You know, do you prefer one style over the other? They state that this one is, you know, if you like Smash Brothers and, you know, want that more, you know, actual GameCube layout, go for this one. If you want to play Game Boy player, play Game Boy games, get the BladeGC that has the bigger D-pad, as it'll be more comfortable playing those games. So yeah, I may have to grab one of those at some point because I do use my GameCube for Game Boy games quite often. But hey, we're going to check these out. They have 3 colors, an orange one, this indigo, and black, as I do have a kind of a hodgepodge of a GameCube here, but mostly orange. I may have to grab me one of those orange ones to check out. If I like these. So we're going to test these things out and possibly even tear it down if it looks like it's easy enough to tear it down. But yeah, here we go. We have 2.4 gigahertz wireless tech, pressure sensitive buttons, wireless vibration feedback. So that's all the compatibility. Wii U, obviously. Wii U, if you have the GameCube adapter thingy, whatever that's called. And then Switch and PC. It does come with, from what I understand, 2 different dongles. One for the GameCube and then one that's USB. Comfortable and accurate D-pad. We'll be the judge of that. Offset analog stick placement, responsive analogs, dual Z buttons, wireless range of over 30 feet. USB-C wireless charging. So let's take a gander here, see what we got. You know, I play my GameCube quite often. I love the WAVEBIRD. But these things are getting increasingly more difficult to find. One of these, I don't remember which one it was. I think maybe it was this one. I had to take multiple WaveBirds that I had acquired and combine them into one to actually have a working second controller. They're just, yeah, sometimes you find them without the receiver, sometimes with, sometimes there's issues. You know, it's just becoming a pain in the ass. And the options that have been out there for GameCube wireless controllers, I've tried a few. I haven't liked them, so I really have high hopes for this here. No keychain. They're not doing keychains anymore. What the hell? But here she is. Actually, this looks pretty nice. You know, the feel is okay. It has a little bit of a weight to it. Doesn't feel overly heavy or anything like that. We have our USB-C branded Retro Fighters. I always love when companies brand these cables. Just helps me keep track of them, dedicate it to actually charging that instead of losing it. And here is the, man, I honestly, I had no idea the little wireless dongle was gonna be this tiny. I don't know why, but I had it pictured in my head that it was gonna be similar to the WaveBird. Like it was gonna be kind of chunky, but you know, how many years later between the two. So yeah, they got it shrunk down. That's cool. That actually looks kind of nice. Yeah. If the colors of the dongle match the controller, that's cool, man. Have some orange ones on here. But there is that. That's all that comes with. And we have the USB one as well for the Switch or PC. That's cool. Giving us options instead of like, okay, let's make one that works for the GameCube and then later on make one that works for the Switch. Like, you know, it is what it is. But there is that. Let's go ahead and we're going to take this apart real quick and then test it out and, you know, see that it actually works. Maybe I should do that opposite, but I'm confident in my opening skills. Wait, something's already... Wait. No, I may have a loose something or a broken piece of plastic in there. All right, well, let's just open it. Okay, last screw here. Initially, when I was shaking this, I thought maybe it was a button rattle, but no, there's got to be something in here. But there we go, last screw. Hopefully I don't break anything. Is this going to be like where I have to Yes. All right, what is flopping around in here? Oh, what is that? Do you see that? Like a little clip or something. Where does that go to? It looks like it should be clipped on to something. I just don't know what. And that's interesting. Like the one side rumble's attached to this board, and that side rumble's attached to that board. But here's our, looks like our analog sticks. Oh, I didn't notice the little, like I just thought they were just solid, like this grayish, creamish, white, whatever the frick you want to call it. But hey, you got that purple or indigo right in the middle. I'm still wondering where that extra piece goes. I'm thinking maybe the person in the factory who put this together didn't know where it went, was just like, you know, screw it, I'm going to throw it in there. It's a little surprise. I don't freaking know. And there she is. There's our membranes. And then for all the secondary buttons, you just have these little tactile switches without membranes that are on the board. That's typically fine. I mean, the action buttons, you got to have a solid membrane, not stuff like this. But for, you know, select and start and, you know, that kind of stuff, this is fine. And these are like attached little pegs. Okay, so that's the inside of this thing. I'll go ahead and see if I can get it put back together without this, you know, breaking it. But I think I'm fine. I'll get this back together and we will test it out. Okay, so I did get the controller put back together just fine. Still have no clue what this little tiny piece was for, but at least it's not in there rattling anymore, and it doesn't seem like it was for anything vital, so maybe just a bonus piece. I don't know. So I've tested both the black one and this one. They both, you know, function identical. There's no variance between the two. It's a great controller. It feels good. The D-pad is little, but it's not quite as little as an actual GameCube controller, so I still would like to try that BladeGC version out. Had no issues registering diagonals and whatnot with the D-pad. Now the one cool thing is it does have rumble built in. You know, you're using it wireless, it's got rumble built in, but the rumble is a very mild vibration. Not much of a rumble, to be honest with you, but it's still nice that it's there. I didn't see in the manual anything about rumble settings, like, you know, increasing or decreasing it. Just some very basic information, how to use turbo, how to pair it to a Nintendo Switch type of thing. But the one thing I do want to point out is I do think like everything functions the way I would expect it. The analog triggers, I've had no issues with that. The analog sticks feel responsive and they feel nice. They have a nice range of motion, but they're not quite as springy or as, you know, they don't feel the same as a GameCube controller. Like this analog stick, it feels great if you're accustomed to GameCube games. This feels a little bit looser and not quite as, I don't know, it just has that nice snap to it, is what I think I mean. Has a nice snap to it where this, it's not quite as a tight snap going on with this analog stick. I don't know, you know, the people who are deep into like Smash Brothers, I don't know if they would really use this or not, or just stick with the original Nintendo-made controllers. But I think for most people, this will be cool, especially, you know, it's getting harder to find these. This feels decent. I mean, it feels really good in my opinion. Just not quite the same as an original GameCube controller, but yeah, it's a nice wireless option that has some cool functionality, compatibility. Can use it on, you know, the Switch, other consoles, PC type of thing with the, you know, wireless USB dongle. It is 2.4 gigahertz. So I think this would be really cool for emulation, is going to be one of the big things there. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm actually going to wind up using these quite a bit. I may have to grab the orange one to match my system there. But yeah, solid, definitely solid. Nothing's ever going to be exactly the same as a, you know, OEM original controller that the manufacturer made for their own system. Nothing is ever going to be the same. Never going to be identical. Sometimes people, you know, get close. Sometimes it's extremely wonky. The quality's all over the place, like a lot of GameCube third-party controllers that are continued to be made to this day are. This is definitely above the rest out there. And it's cool that it's wireless and it, you know, functions. It's a very nice controller. Very solid. I'm digging it. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate y'all watching. Bye.